This hack tip is brought to you by JackThreads. Welcome to HakTip, the show where we break down concepts, tools, and techniques for hackers, gurus, and IT ninjas. I'm your host, Shannon Morse, and today I'm going over your top 5 tips, questions, and software picks. So let's go ahead and get started. First of all is Gabriel. Gabriel writes, "Hey folks, I am loving these hack tips. They are far more digestible and make me feel like less of a noob than actual Hack 5. I do love Hack 5 too, but these tips make it awesome to do in my spare time. Anyway, I was a little confused as to how Shannon got VirtualBox to run from a USB. I've run VirtualBox on both Mac and Windows 7 and can't get either to boot from a USB drive, even with the guest editions. Am I missing something dumb? Please don't judge me. Keep up the awesome work." That's a very good question. Booting from a USB in VirtualBox is kind of a hack. Direct booting from a USB device isn't ordinarily possible as VirtualBox doesn't support USB in the BIOS. That said, using vbox manage command, you can convert a physical disk on your machine, say like a USB drive, into a VMDK which VirtualBox can boot off of as a hard drive. That's all there is to it. As far as the VM is concerned, it's a hard drive. Now the command for Windows is vbox manage space internal commands, create raw VMDK, tac file name, which is the file that you want to save the USB drive as, .vmdk tac raw disk, and the physical drive ID, which you can find under disk management. So in theory, you could use this to boot as a mirror image off of your hard drive, but I haven't gotten that crazy with it yet. Thank you for writing in. Britt writes, "Just wanted to say how much I love the show. I was wondering if you have any ideas about running a virtual honeypot on a virtual machine. Is there any reason that it should work different when running it on its own machine? What about security risks since it's running through your machine?" Well, we haven't actually covered honeypots on Hack 5 yet, but we totally should. Right, Darren?
Darn tootin'.
I know Darren has been meaning to. He's a fan of the tool HoneyD, which comes pre-installed in Backtrack 5 under Exploitation Tools, Social Engineering Tools, and Honeypots. When using it on a virtual machine, for the most part, it wouldn't be different than running it on its own machine. The only thing you have to watch out for is this hypervisor exploit, which is to say an exploit that lets malicious code break out of the virtual machine and attack the host, which is never a good thing. These are pretty rare, but they are pretty scary when they happen. If you're really paranoid, you might just want to put your honeypot on a DMZ outside your normal LAN or on another network completely. When we have our Crack the Code challenges on Hack 5, we use a dedicated cable modem line for this exact reason. It's not that we don't trust you guys with our office LAN, but I'm just saying. So thank you, Britt, for writing in. Now in just a bit, I'll be right back with a couple more quick emails including your software picks, but first, let's take a quick break. Most guys hate shopping for clothes, but luckily now there's JackThreads, a members-only online shopping club. Everyday JackThreads serves up the hottest brands at up to 80% off, and while JackThreads is a private club, we've got the hookup. Join free at jackthreads.com/HAK5 and start saving instantly. Rounding out our emails, we got a few software recommendations. First off, Nick writes, "I love the show." Thank you, Nick. "Just watched your System Booster episode and I just wanted to recommend Saluto to speed up startup time. It's a brilliant program." Next up, Josh wrote in to recommend Desk Space 3D. In my opinion, it's better than Dexpo, which I had tried for a little while. It gives you 6 virtual desktops, much like you get on a Linux OS, and it also has an awesomely fast and surprisingly not at all buggy 3D cube effect. I gotta try that out. It's very similar to what Compiz Desktop Effects for Linux has to offer. That sounds pretty cool. And finally, Dids writes, "I recently came across an awesome hard drive free disk space reporting software, which in addition to being super sexy, is even easier to use than the other free alternatives out there. This one is called Space Sniffer." So thank you to Nick, Josh, and Dids. I'll link up Saluto, Desk Space 3D, and Space Sniffer in our show notes. Now, for you guys, what programs or scripts are rocking your world? Hit me up at tips@hack5.org, and be sure to check out our sister show, Hack 5, for more great stuff just like this. I'll be there reminding you to trust your technolust.
Alright. You're rolling?
Okay.
Yeah.